Tuesday. The word for you today, we're continuing talking about Satan's schemes. Our scripture passage is 2 Corinthians 4:4. It says, "The God of this age has blinded the minds of unbelievers, so that they cannot see the light of the gospel of the glory of Christ, who is the image of God." You know, sometimes it's hard to understand why people don't understand certain things about God or why they believe certain things about God. And Paul is telling us here that a lot of it has to do with being blinded. If you're ever driving, you're heading east in the mornings, or you're heading west in the afternoons, and that sun gets down by the horizon, and the road you're on, you're looking right into the sun. There are things that are out there, but you can't see them because you're blinded by the sun. You can't see what's there. And that's what Paul is talking about here. He's telling us that the God of this age. Well, now, who is the God of this age? Well, he's talking about Satan. You said, well, I didn't realize Satan was a god. Well, he's a god like Baal or other false idols or gods. People choose to believe in them and put their faith in them. The difference between Satan and false idols is that the false idols don't have any life in them. They're made out of a metal or wood or something, and they have no life. Satan is real, and he has power, but his power is limited by God. He is not God's equal. Some people see, okay, it's Satan against God, and we're going to see who wins. No, God is always greater. God is the one who created Satan. So God is greater than his creation. And Satan can only go as far as God will allow him to go. He is what's called the God of this age, the prince of the air. One day that's going to be taken away from him, though. So the God of this age has blinded the minds of unbelievers. How does he blind people's minds? Well, when we refuse to believe the truth, we refuse to believe the truth that Jesus is the Son of God, then that opens us up to believing other things. Remember the Pharisees and the Sadducees. They were so blinded by their desire for power and control that it didn't matter what Jesus did. It doesn't matter how many people he healed. The love that people had, it didn't matter. They were against him. They couldn't see the truth because they were blinded by their lust for power, their lust for control. If we don't want to be blinded by Satan, you know what? We need to make sure we put our faith and trust in Jesus Christ. And sometimes we have such a hatred for somebody that it blinds us to other things. So the God of this age has blinded the minds of unbelievers so that they cannot see the light of the gospel of Christ, who is the image of God. Paul, of all people, understood this. Paul was very religious. He was a Pharisee of Pharisees. His knowledge was great. He was incredible. He was on the road to Damascus to arrest some more of the way, followers of Jesus. And who did he meet on the way? He met Jesus. And while physically he became blind, spiritually his eyes were opened. It's kind of a neat thing about how God did that to him. He had to cause his physical eyes to be blinded in order for his spiritual eyes to be open. And, you know, for some of us, we go through difficult times, and we don't like going through difficult times. I don't. I much rather things be good. But sometimes those difficult times opens our eyes to see things spiritually in a different way. You know, the captain of the Titanic refused to believe that his ship was in trouble until water was ankle deep in the mailroom. Only then did he try to send for help, but by then it was too late. There were ships in the area that could come, and some ships did come and rescue some people, but there could have been a lot more rescued. But he didn't recognize he was blinded by the difficulty the ship was in, because he'd been told this thing cannot sink. It's impenetrable. It's perfect. It's great. It'll never fail. And so he didn't even consider the fact that it could fail. And when he finally realized that it was too late for so many people. How about you and me? Some people have a hard time believing that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God. Do you believe that? Don't let Satan blind you to the fact that, yes, Jesus is the Son of God. If you don't know Jesus today, would you call out to him? Say, Jesus, if you're really who you say you are, make yourself known to me. And you know what? He loves you. He will. Will it be today? I don't know. Maybe today, maybe later on. But he loves you. He will reach out to you. Don't be fooled by Satan's schemes. And one of them is to blind us to the truth. Have a good day.